Well, before we get into what Nicole is going to do for our area, first thing I want to point out is the temperature change today. High temperatures today significantly cooler compared to the last several days. We are done with the stretch of near record warmth as highs got back into the 50s today. Now, when you look at some currents, which Westfield has already dropped to about 49 degrees, and you compare it to where we were yesterday, that's a sizable difference. I mean, from the Carolinas all the way up to Maine, we're seeing everybody about 15 to 20 degrees colder compared to this time yesterday. So we have all dropped temperature wise, but we're back to normal, and tomorrow's temperature is similar to today. I think we'll have a lot of mid-50s across the board, plenty of sunshine, some upper 40s, low 50s in the higher elevations, much lighter winds for tomorrow, so that'll be a big change. And again, we'll keep full sunshine. Now, Thursday and Friday, the temps start going back up again. Low to mid-60s for Thursday as high pressure moves offshore, and we have a breeze picking up again out of the south-southwest. Then Friday, for Veterans Day, it gets close to 70. Now, there is a particular reason why we're going to be so warm, because we have a tropical air mass coming right up the coast. So let's get into what's going on with Nicole. Right now, it is a tropical storm, so it has gone fully tropical. It is expected to strengthen to a Cat 1 hurricane. That has not changed. Landfall looks to happen tomorrow night, late, close to midnight, close to West Palm Beach as a Cat 1. Then it quickly weakens, kind of skirting by Tampa and then curving back to the northeast. The actual track of the remnant low comes almost right over Albany now, so it continues to push westward a little bit. What does that mean for us here in Western Mass? Well, Friday night into Saturday morning is when we'll deal with the brunt of the storm as it passes by. As we take a look at some of the rain and wind estimates, Wednesday morning, so tomorrow morning, you can see how it starts making its way on shore with all the heavy rain, which is typically on the left side of the low. So they'll be dealing with a lot of the rain first, and the wind will ramp up as the system makes landfall. Then it continues moving across the southeastern U.S. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, full-on tropical storm at that point. Then it will weaken to a remnant low, but it's still producing wind gusts over 20 miles an hour. In fact, some wind could gust as high as 30 to 40 miles an hour. The difference between this and any other system coming through is that wind is pretty persistent. So instead of it occasionally gusting, it's going to stay blustery for several hours. And then we'll be dealing with several hours of rain, the heaviest of which will happen Friday night into early Saturday morning. And with all the leaves on the ground clogging up your drains and everything, there could definitely be some flooding around the area. Minor street flooding, but that's our big concern. And with some gusty breezes, potential for some tree limbs to come down, leading to some spotty power loss. Now, as we get closer to this, we'll have more detail on how much rain and how much wind we can expect to see. Rainfall right now, I would say about 1 to 2 inches, maybe a little bit less compared to yesterday, because the heaviest rain will now be off to our west. What happens when we get behind this system? Temperatures will crash, and we're going to go back to the 40s starting on Sunday. Not only that, but we are going to be dealing with some seriously cold overnight temperatures too. Looks like we're going to be below freezing pretty much all of next week at night. So we see that transition behind the departing remnant low of Nicole. Sunday, we're back to the 40s, breezy with a chance of a shower. Monday, Tuesday, looking dry, just chilly with highs in the mid 40s. And then Wednesday, we could see a little bit of cold rain and even some high elevation winter stuff. Back to you guys.
Winter stuff.